Unit 10, Formative 2, Video 5, Frequency Tables and Histograms. This is the last video. Okay, so histograms and frequency tables are the same data, it's just how we look at both of them. So this is a frequency table. So you have an interval. Okay, the intervals have to be the same. Okay, so this has an interval of 9 because to get from 50 to 59, I went up 9. Went up 9, went up 9, went up 9. And the same thing here, 58 to 67 is add 9, add 9, add 9, add 9. Okay, so don't look from here to here to find the interval because everyone thinks it's 8. It's actually 9 because you got to count the first one. Okay, so here we have the interval from 50 to 51. There was one number in that score for that grade. 59 to 67, there were none. 68 to 76, they had 3 tallies, and then they just wrote the number 3. So, and you don't have to do the tallies, it's really up to you. And then this information is put over here. So here is our frequency table. So again, frequency and then our scores. So there's interval 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you just do, it looks like a bar graph. It's close to a bar graph. How many you went up? So there was 1 score here. There was none in this. 3, 5, and then 4. Okay. So this is what we're going to do with our data. So try one. Okay, so the data below are numbers of hours per week of a group students spent watching television. What is the histogram and frequency table that represents the data? Now here we're going to do an interval size of 4. Okay, so it's going to tell you, and on the test it's going to tell you as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's draw a frequency table. Okay, so this is the interval. Oops, too close. This is the tally, and this is the quantity, the actual number. Okay, so now we need to look at our lowest number is 0, and our highest number is 22. We're going to do interval size of 4. So you need to have your lowest number, which is 0. Okay. Now, you can go lower. Let's say our lowest number was 1. We could start at 0, or you can start at 1. Some people like to start on like nice numbers like 0, like 5, 10, 15, and so on, but it's really up to you. Now, if my interval size is 4, I'm going to add 4 going down. Okay, and I might not need that 24 because my highest number is 22. Okay, now if the next interval here is 4, then this up here has to be 1 less. So this is going to be a 3. And then you just add 4. 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 4 is 15, plus 4 is 19, plus 4 is 23. So I am not going to need this 24. So I'm going to go ahead and erase it. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and put tally marks. So I'm going to change colors. So there's a 10, which is in this one. There's a 7. I forgot that one. There's a 1, a 5, a 14, a 22, a 6, an 8, a 0, 11, 13, 3, 4, 14, and a 5. So remember, your 5th tally you cross. Helps you count them. Okay, so I had a 3, a 5, a 3, a 3, a 0, and a 1. Alright, so now we're going to draw our histogram. So it's like the first quadrant. Make sure you leave room for your intervals. So this is the frequency. Okay, and this is our intervals down here, but it's hours. All right, and we have 6 intervals, so I need to make sure that I have 6 spots. Okay. All right, now we have 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, 12 to 15, 16 to 19, and 20 to 23. Okay. Now our frequency, our largest number is 5, so I just need to make sure there's 5 intervals here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so now our first interval here, 0 to 3, has a quantity of 3. So I'm going to draw a line at 3. Okay. All right, and then our next one, 4 to 7, has an interval of 5, so it's going to be attached. Okay. 7, 8 to 11 is 3, so we're back down to 3. 12 to 15 is also 3. The 16 to 19 is 0, and the last one, 20 to 20, is 1. Okay, so there's my frequency table and my histogram. All right, let's do another one. Okay, this one I'm going to speed it up a little bit, but you do need to make sure. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do intervals size of 2. Okay, so you're going to have to pause it. I'm going to go ahead and write this, and then you're going to have to go ahead and write it, pause the video and write it. All right, so here's my frequency table. So again, I started out with 2 because it was my smallest number, and I had an interval size of 2. So 2, 4, 6, so I'm adding 2 down, and then 3 is my first number here, and I'm adding 2 all the way down. So let's go ahead and do the tallies. 7, 9, and 5. 7, 9, 5, 3, 12, 7, 12, 7, 2, 17, and 4. 12, 7, 10, 10, 14, and 15. All right, so then we have a 2, a 2, a 3, a 1, a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 1. All right, so here's my frequency table. You need to pause and go ahead and draw yours. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and draw what we have. So the 2 to 3 interval has a frequency of 2. Oh, my highest is 3, so I only need 3. All right, so my frequency from 2 to 3 is 2. Okay. And then 4 to 5 is also 2. Okay. Color that in. It looks a little nicer. It's easier to see. All right, and then frequency 6 to 7 is 3. 8 to 9 is 1. Oops, too far. All right, 10 to 11 is also 1. 12 to 13 is 2. 14 to 15 is 2. And then the last one was 1. Okay, and then there's your frequency table.